This is a great time of the year filled with growth and possibility in fields and orchards throughout the country, and we can help you get to the finish line successfully in terms of yield and quality with our products. This is the Redox Grows Technical Podcast. I'm Jim Morris with Redox Bio-Nutrients, and joining me is our Central Valley agronomist, A.J. Borges. A.J., thanks for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to visit with you, A.J., and you're part of our wonderful California team. Hundreds of different crops grown in California, and they do a wonderful job in the Golden State. But there are a lot of challenges, and we'll get into those. But I want to start off with one thing right off the bat. What is your philosophy, and how do you work with your customer base? Redox products are different than a bulk fertilizer. So what are some of the things that you do to make sure that the people you work with are comfortable and happy with the direction they're going?
Jim, we really try to find specific situations where we can make them more efficient and increase our yield and quality.
Yeah, it does come down to the yield and quality for sure. And we have ways to do that with our Redox active molecules, achieving plant charge balance, and phenomenal technology. Let's get into that technology. Let's start with one of the major crops in California, almonds. California produces about 80% of the world's almonds, but it is a challenging market. So tell me about how RDXN, one of our newer products to the market, yet one we've been working with for more than 10 years. How does RDXN help?
RDXN is a unique biostimulant that the plant is taking in and helping it metabolize nitrogen. That's the most simple way to look at RDXN and how it works in almonds. The product is a unique blend of botanical extracts that lead the plant to a place where it's just operating at a higher scale, a higher efficiency, where it wouldn't have been without it. We've seen things like lag time with nitrogen inputs, and the reduction of that lead to a plant that's in, a later stage of the year than it would have been otherwise. So.
It's interesting, too, because we're very comfortable with a 50% reduction in synthetic nitrogen when you utilize RDXN. What are some of the results that you're seeing, and how impressed are the growers you're working with?
They're extremely impressed, Jim. I've found that new customers have been flocking to Redox fields and looking at them as a potential opportunity for them to grow their own business. It's very, very exciting.
And this is occurring at a time when there's a lot of pressure on supply and price because of the Iran war. So are growers more interested in alternatives considering how high the price is, and some questions on availability too?
Growers definitely have questions on availability. There was a lot of talk, but what we've seen is the potential for that run out to happen later in the summer, which will be past our nitrogen timing. So it's not going to affect almonds so much as it might be, corn, some of the later crops or summer field crops. And specifically on 32, there's some potential for can that we're hearing, but all of those things are anecdotal at this point, and the price has only slightly increased. So we're not necessarily worried about that right now. And the focus is to stay in the moment and do what we can with the time that we have.
Yeah, and back to your main parameters, yield and quality, RDXN helps growers get to the finish line with those parameters, which is tremendous. And do you feel that this is a product that's going to continue to take off, not only with almonds, but a variety of different crops that you're working with?
Yes, I do. I believe that RDXN is the future of agriculture. It's uniquely using these biostimulants to stimulate the plant to deal with nitrogen better, to convert it into ammonical, amino acid, protein. It's increasing that life cycle of the plant, the health and vitality of it. So it's very unique, and it can be used in so many different ways, and that's the great thing about it. It's a highly versatile product that can eliminate a lot of the nitrogen issues that we're having.
That's phenomenal. I mean, that's only a win for not only growers, but for the environment as well. Let's talk about a very large crop in California, cherries. California is the nation's #2 producer. And when growers can have yield and quality, they can really get a good price because they're shipped all the way from California to Japan, for example. But there are challenges. It's a delicate crop. So one of our products that is extremely popular helps very well in this area, and that's DiCap. Tell me about what DiCap is and how it helps with cherries.
So DiCap is a unique blend of biostimulants that's base fertilizer is dipotassium phosphate, which is a highly efficient potassium phosphate source. Now, DiCap's main driver is its biostimulant, so that needs to be the focus, and it's increasing, differently from RDXN, but similar in the way that it increases plant metabolism. It's increasing the health and vitality of a life cycle. It's just that coming in at a different point, a different part of that cycle. So without getting too specific, it's boosting that plant up. It's making it a lot stronger and able to deal with biotic and abiotic stress more easily. It's secondary metabolic pathways. It's not fun to talk about unless you're in a science classroom, but it is a very unique product that stimulates the plant to be stronger.
And it's important for cherries because they are delicate, but when you have that good quality, that good shelf life, people will pay top dollar for it. And that is especially important for cherries, correct?
Exactly, yeah. And no different than a consumer at the supermarket, you can touch and feel it after you apply something like DiCap. You can go out to the field and see the difference and feel it with your hands. So it's very powerful in that way and very good for cherry grower that needs firm fruit. So.
And let's talk about field corn. It's something maybe people don't think about in California, but it is a large industry with several 100,000 acres. And there's some interesting challenges and opportunities in the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta. Tell me about a newer product, OsmoFlow, that you're working with and how it helps the grower customers that you have.
It's very unique. We have a lot of dairy, lagoon irrigated fields that are planted in corn, and we have salt issues. OsmoFlow keeps salt from accumulating at the root tip. It helps the plant deal with salt stress better. It's so unique, and it's doing it very efficiently. I mean, we've seen some water reduction and the ability to reduce water without having to irrigate. In the test would be, we're pressure bombing these fields to make sure of that. So very unique in the way that it can reduce the use of water and reduce the amount of salt stress that we have, because we have salt. We're going to have salt. That's a classic that's going to go on forever. It's in our fertilizer. It's in our lagoon water, and it comes from our wells as well. So it's always something we're going to have to deal with, and it's a very unique product, very good at doing those things that I mentioned.
And you also mentioned water efficiency, and no place in the world, perhaps, is water efficiency more important than California, correct?
That's right. Yeah, we're dealing with the impacts of those. Sigma, it's a difficult time for sure.
Well, I'm glad that this product can help, and I want to ask you about all of these products and the basically the entire Redox line. Less is more, correct? I mean, what kind of rates are we generally talking about here?
Generally speaking, with our liquid products, we're coming in at around a quart to a pint, sometimes even less. There is a lot of power in this product where if you compare, rate-wise to other chemistries out there, you can see ours perform very well at a low rate. They're very potent. So you're getting what you're paying for, and you can feel it in the jug when you lift it up. You don't need to go to the gym that day. Just plan on lifting up your Redox jugs. You'll be okay.
Yeah, and when you initially work with someone and you explain these use rates, do they do a double take? I mean, it is impressive when you think about, if you will, the competition and how much more is needed to attempt to get the same result.
Yes, I mean it's always a little bit of a shell shock. It's like, well, I don't need that much, I only need a couple ounces, or I only need, a pint here, a quart there. Yes, you only need that much, and it's not because of price point, it's because of efficacy, because we can be that much more efficient with a quart compared to the competitor. So it's because of the quality build of the product.
That's excellent, and it's been proven over 2 generations and more than 30 years here at Redox. So, and we're just getting started. I'm terribly optimistic about the future. And speaking of positives, because there are some challenges in agriculture, but when you're at this time of the year and you're working with the growers and your customers. You're seeing the results in the field. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel really good. Coming from a retail PCA position and selling the products that I was, and then being able to go to a demo that I gave to one of my customers for his grower and look at it and say, it did exactly what we said it was going to do. It looks better, it's healthier, it's greener. You know, we're checking a bunch of boxes, and that definitely feels good. It's not something that you get with every product.
And I want to ask you too, AJ, very important is a concept of overlapping the technology and how beneficial that is. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so uniquely, Redox has found ways to build that into one product. It's great. It's a unique thing because they found what worked well together and made them into a product like Velox, Supreme. You know, all of these ones that have everything that you need. You only need one bag, you know, for full bloom for almonds of V55 or Supreme, or one jug. Supreme in that case. So yeah, the overlapping technologies have led us to increase yield and quality to a point where, I mean, I don't think we would have been otherwise with just a single-use product.
That's phenomenal. Again, bionutrition, biostimulants with very carefully sourced nutrients will get the job done, and it will benefit yield and quality. AJ, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate everyone joining us, and you can find out more at redoxgrows.com.